All right, guys, we are on to letter 62. This is on Morales or Lucilius, and this one is on good company. This is also another short letter. I'm kind of batching some of these up together because I'm in a good mood, and these letters are short, so we'll see. Maybe I'll change the cadence to twice a week at some point, but for now I need to focus on some other things. But this one is on good company. Again, this is letter 63. It says, we are deceived by those who would have us believe that a multitude of affairs blocks their pursuit of liberal studies. Okay, let me just break that down. We are deceived by those who would have us believe that a multitude of affairs blocks their pursuit of liberal studies. Okay, so they make a pretense of their engagements and multiply them when their engagements are merely with themselves. All right, so what is he saying here? He's saying, look, there's people that tell us that they have all these things that they need to be doing, okay? And it blocks their ability to study, to let's say make a study of philosophy. They believe all these engagements are so important, but these engagements, these things that they've created, they're actually with themselves. They've created their own stresses upon themselves. And can you do this? Have you done this? I do this, right? Most of the stuff that we need to do is stuff that we have created in our minds that we need to do. As for me, Lucilius, my time is free. It is indeed free. And wherever I am master of myself. Okay? So you're saying I actually do have my time, and I'm the master of that. That's a pretty interesting thing. Okay? For I do not surrender myself to my affairs, but loan myself to them, and I do not hunt out excuses for wasting my time. And wherever I am situated, I carry on my own meditations and ponder in my mind some wholesome thought. Okay, so he's saying a few things here. Okay, my time is free. Okay, it is indeed free, and wherever I am master of myself. Okay, this is a statement that I think we'd all like to make. But why? He says, because I don't surrender myself to my affairs. I don't say these things are what I have to do. He said, I loan myself to them. So I give myself to those things. They don't control me. I control them. Okay. I do not hunt out excuses for wasting my time. we tend to do this, right? What are the reasons why we're wasting our time? No, I'm not going to give myself any excuses. And wherever I'm situated, I carry on my own meditations and ponder in my mind some wholesome thoughts. So I'm constantly thinking about the things that I need to be thinking about advancing myself, about philosophy. And verse 2, when I give myself to my friends, I do not withdraw from my own company, nor do I linger with those who are associated with me through some special occasion or in some case which arises from my official position. Okay, so when I'm with my friends, I don't withdraw from my own company. I'm still here in my mind, okay? And I don't linger with those who are associated with me through some special occasion. So I'm not hanging around with people that are just here because of status or in some case which arises from my official position. Okay? So I'm not just hanging around people that I don't want to hang around. Okay? He says, but I spend my time in the company of all the best. No matter in what lands they may have lived or in what age, I let my thoughts fly to them. So he's talking about the theater of the mind, this imagination, this idea that I keep my mind and my focus on the people who are the greatest of minds, right? That's where he's talking about what he's studying and the thoughts he's thinking about different great men who have lived, who have said things that he considers friends. It doesn't matter where they live. It doesn't matter. He can still have those thoughts in his head. He can still study those things. Okay. In verse 3, he says, Demetrius, for instance, the best of men, I take about with me, and leaving the wearers of purple and fine linen, I talk with him, half naked as he is, and hold him in high esteem. Why should I not hold him in high esteem? I have found that he lacks nothing. It is in the power of any man to despise all things, but of no man to possess all things. So, he's talking about Demetrius, okay, is a historical example. Okay, he was the Cynic philosopher who taught in Rome in the region of Caligula and was banished by Nero. Okay, and he says that he can talk with him. He has these conversations with him in his head, obviously. Okay, Okay. He said that I found that he lacks nothing. It is in the power of any man to despise all things, okay, but of no man to possess all things. So you can say, I don't need these things, but you can't get all the things. So you do have the power to despise all the things. You can get rid of the desires instead of fulfilling all the desires, okay? That is what is in your power. The shortest cut to riches is to despise riches. The shortest cut to riches is to despise riches. Okay? Think about that. The shortest cut to riches is to despise riches. Now, what does it mean to despise things? I think that this language is used a lot. And let me just jump here for a second and just give you a good definition of this that we can utilize here. Okay. To feel a strong dislike for someone or something because you think that person or thing is bad or has no value. Okay, that's what it means to despise. So what is he saying here? Okay, if we look at what that means. Okay, the shortest cut to riches is to despise riches. To feel like it has no value, a strong dislike because you think that it has no value or it's bad. Again, not that riches necessarily are bad, but the desire of them is so. Okay. Let's move on here. He says, our friend Demetrius, however, lives not merely as if he has learned to despise all things, but as if he has handed them over for others to possess. Farewell. Let's think on this. He doesn't live merely as if he has learned to despise all things, but as if he's handed them over for others to possess. So this is quite the next level. Right? Because to despise a thing, to say, look, I don't need a fancy car. I despise that. I don't need it. It's not necessary. I don't, I'm not seeking that thing. I don't have a desire for this thing. That's one thing. To have the fancy car, but then give it to someone else to possess, that's quite another thing. Right? You have a lot of things that you desire, perhaps, in life, right? It would be one thing for you to say, I don't need those things. It'd be another thing for you to get them and give them away. And that's what he's talking about here. And that's the level that he's talking about of the respect he has for Demetrius. Right? So this letter really is about this idea of keeping good company, right? In your mind, the people you're around, right? You don't have to be dragged into the affairs of other people. And you don't have to be busying yourself with all of these things. Instead, you can keep the company of the philosophers, of different people that you hold in high regard in your mind and bounce your ideas off of them. You can think about things in those terms. That's extremely valuable to do. We'll see you next time.